Hi, I'm Alex Grange, a mechanical engineer responsible for the NX printed circuit card assembly. As soon as the schematic is complete, I can start my assembly in NX. Here, I will define my board geometry, mounting holes, keep outs, and critical components. I'll first start by defining the board extrude and define the overall thickness of 1.59 millimeter, which is my copper to copper thickness. I can then change my extrude to be a green color, as it will highlight to me that this is my board geometry. Next, I will need to create several mounting holes within my board geometry. I require 2 mounting holes on the top corners of the board, as it will mate with my panel in the overall mechanical assembly. Each hole will have a 3.25 diameter hole and will go through the entire board. I must also place 2 mounting holes near the middle of the board. Since I own the mechanical enclosure, I need to place some electronic connectors that directly affect my design. I will start off by adding a USB connector to my NX assembly. I will first define a touch-align constraint to mate the bottommost surface of the USB connector to the topmost surface of the board geometry. Then, I'll use dynamic movement to rotate and offset the component to be placed in the desired location as to not interfere with my mechanical models or my design rules in our domain. The last piece of geometry I want to add to properly pass to the ECAD designer is a placement obstruct. I'll create one in the upper left corner to avoid any hardware engineers from placing components that may interfere with my mechanical assembly. Now that I have defined my board geometry, mounting holes, component, and objects in my design, I want to associate these objects to the proper item type so that the hardware engineer can import the data directly into their PCB design. To do this, I'll associate the extrude I created earlier to be my board geometry. I will then add a reference designator to my USB connector, as it is defined in the schematic design. Then I will assign my hole features as non-plated mounting holes, and then finally define my sketch with a 1 millimeter height for my placement obstruct. I will skip ahead where I have all the critical components placed in my design with my mechanical models in my assembly. These are also set to be mechanically owned, so only I can modify the location of these parts. Now that I am ready, I can send this initial set of information to our hardware engineer. To do this, I'll be sending a baseline of the entire printed circuit assembly. Once defined, I'll pass the initial baseline to the PCB layout team to begin their import process and their PCB design.